All right, let's talk Inside Out 2. I am your host, Matty. This is Matty Does Movies. You may know me from my other channels on here. This channel is just me talking about movies that I've seen. I go to like two or three a week, and I do this anyway. And so I thought I might as well make a channel, see where it goes. I hope you guys like it. Give it a subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. You know the drill. All right. Inside Out 2. First of all, it's been out for a little while. I think the last thing I saw is that it's at 1.42 billion dollars, making it the highest grossing animated film ever. Think about that. Ever. I think it's 13th now all time of all movies. Like we're talking, it passed like Jurassic World, it passed Deathly Hollows Part 2. It is just going crazy, and rightfully so, man. Look, there are really good movies, and then there are good movies, and then there's everything else, right? I think that this movie is good. I think it's really good, right? But more importantly, outside of the movie, I think it's the timing of this movie. And what I mean by that is, look, the first one is a roller coaster, man, and it's just so good, and so it's about feeling things, right? And I think we're in a world right now where feeling things is kind of hard because we're just getting information every 2 seconds, and we're like, oh, that makes me sad, oh, that makes me happy, oh, there's another shooting, oh, that they died, oh, this is really exciting, you know what I mean? Like we're just constantly changing every 2 seconds, right? And so that first movie, there's some really heavy stuff in it, you know. So this second movie, Inside Out 2, I walked into the theater very, very excited because I love the first one. And I was kind of assuming like, okay, they're gonna be following Riley still. And she'll be a little older, right? And that's what happens, right? I had no idea like what the plot would be and all of that. I think the plot's actually really cool. Now, I went in expecting like, because these are hard, right? Because they are kids movies, right? Like they are made for kids, right? Here's my take. I actually think this movie was for us. And what I mean by that is like, people between 20 and 45. 25 and 45, I'll say. Like parents. You know what I mean? I really do think that. Like this movie it's quirky enough, and there's funny characters, and it's an adventure, which makes it a kids movie, you know what I mean? But I don't know, man. There's some lines in this movie that really, really hit me, and I don't think a kid would understand them. You know what I mean? I don't think a kid has lived enough life to understand it. And so I really think this movie was really smart, which is like, hey, this is a kids movie, but kids can't go to the movies by themselves. Parents are going to be there. Let's make this about something that the parents can relate to as well, and not just a kid movie. You know what I mean? So back to my point about timing, I think that this movie is just perfect timing too. Like it's really, really good, of course, but I think that the timing of this movie coming out, it just felt like, man, I think we needed that. I think the world needed to be reminded to feel things, and that it's okay to feel things. You know what I mean? Like we're just so disconnected now. And for a movie to say, "Hey, I know you have anxiety," which I think every person in the world has, by the way. I know you have anxiety, and that's okay. Does that make sense? Like that's a very powerful message. Very, very powerful message. And so I absolutely loved it. It wasn't like, I didn't walk out of the theater being like, "Oh, that just completely changed my life. Top 10 movie of all time." But I will say it affected me in a way, in that way though. I thought about it for the next few days, and if I'm thinking about a movie past walking out of the theater door, then it's probably pretty good. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think they handled it really, really well. You know, they this isn't a spoiler. You can see this in the trailer. Like, they added some new characters, which I think you have to do, right? When you look at the history of Pixar, and animated movies, right? Like, you can't just have the same cast. You know what I mean? Like, think about, I'll use Toy Story as an example, right? You have a great cast, big cast to be honest, in the first one, right? And then the second one, you meet Jesse, and you know what I mean? Like, third one, you got what is it, Forky? You know, like, you keep adding to the roster, of course, to keep it fresh, right? And I think they did really, really great work with the animation of this, with the acting, um, with storyline. You know, this movie is really an adventure. It really is. Like, even the first one's really an adventure. I would maintain that the first one may be more of an adventure. This one's more of a kind of live through what it's like to be Riley's age. Or more importantly, I think maybe live through what it's like to be the parents of Riley. You know what I mean? Like, seeing your child go through things. That's why I think that this movie nailed it, man. I think they really nailed it with, let's put something in here for everybody, right? We're gonna make it kind of deep, but not too deep to where kids hate it. And we're gonna make it an adventure kids movie, but not too much kids movie where the parents hate it. You know what I mean? So look, I really, really loved it. I think it was fantastic. I got this pretty high, man. I think when you look at box office, sometimes it can be weird because sometimes movies can just get crazy hype and it's just that, right? I don't think that's this though. I think that this movie did really, really well, and then everyone went home and posted on social media that, oh my goodness, no, this is actually really good. And that is when a movie goes crazy. You know what I mean? That's when the people who aren't just movie people go see the movie. And that's really where box office goes crazy. So I love Polar. I love everybody in the cast. I'm totally in for an Inside Out 3, 4, 5, whatever. You know what I mean? They could really keep this going, especially that it's the almost the top 10 movie ever. I would almost guarantee you that they're already working on a script for 3. So that's it, man. Inside Out 2. Let me know in the comments what you thought. I think a lot of you have probably seen it. So let me know what you thought. Let me know if you loved it, if you hated it, if you're just in the middle. I would love to know your opinion on that. Give it a thumbs up. That's a like. Do that. Subscribe. That's free. Would love to hear from you. Let me know if there's any movies in the future that you want me to see. I have a pretty good list of every movie for the rest of the year that I want to see. But, there's more movies than that. So I would love to know if there's any that you would love to see on the channel. All right. That's it, man. Inside Out 2. I'm going 9. I'm going 9 out of 10 Matty Tomatoes. 9 out of 10. Loved it. All right. I will see you guys next time. I've been your host, Matty. This is Matty Does Movies. See you next time. Peace.